Please tell me.
Yeah, I can do this. I can give you a few ideas, okay, of
And
how.
in future, I will give some support from your side when we get any project in Apex.
Okay, sure. I think today we can talk about a important part in Oracle Apex. It's called SQL Workshop, okay, which has so many features. It helps the developer, okay, to process and get their work done. Right, like you can create and edit, drop any object on database, okay, without using any other tools like Todd or SQL Developer. And also you can use SQL command, right, to describe a object, do some BL SQL code as well. In addition, also you can run prepared scripts and also create new one, edit, delete some scripts, and so on. Also, you can use a query builder. Okay, this query builder features it's graphically just, if you heard about something like ERD, which is the relation between tables, so you can get the whole, whatever, how many tables you need to combine query from them. You can do this by a SQL Workshop. So first of all, yeah, we will start with a SQL Workshop and something called Object Browser. From here, okay, you have the second menu. It's called SQL Workshop, which has a object browser, SQL command, SQL script, and some other utilities and other a powerful feature called RESTful service. Okay, we will start with this object browser. So object browser, you
One
can.
second, mate.
Okay.
One second, mate.
Yeah, so object browser, okay, you can browse your object. Just make sure you on the right schema right from here. So if your workspace has more than one schema, you can select your schema from here. Okay, once you select your schema, you can browse your objects like table, views, indices, sequence, and etc. Okay, we'll start with what we can do here with object browser. We can select any table, and once you select this table, you will have so many tabs here. Okay, each tab has some features like on table. You can add, modify, rename any columns. Right, so you can create new table. Let's create a new table. Right, we'll call our table customers. Right, we'll have ID. You can choose the whatever the data type here. So ID, it should be a number, and we have some features called identity, which is a powerful feature provided by Oracle Apex. Okay, the most important. Yeah, we can make 3 examples on this selected choice, but the most useful one, it's called default on null. Okay, and this for sure it will be a primary case, so it should be not null. You can have a name, which is character 100, and we can have a email, right, the same. We can have a customer phone, right, which is character Okay. Any other column? I think we can continue right now. Thanks. Okay, this table has a customer, okay, has a primary key, okay, yes, and I need to populate a this primary key by a identify column, right? My primary key, it's ID. If I have another primary key, I can select the, okay, then press next. Right, we can, okay, it will create a, if you need to create a foreign key, okay, you can select the, right, the column for foreign key, but we don't have here. So we'll go with next. Right, if you have any constraint on any column like a check or unique, I can just choose this as a unique, right? So customer name, it will be unique, right? And yeah, here we can see the SQL query for our table. Okay, it's like this. Okay, you can create it manually. Okay, which is a ID as a identity. Okay, so generated by default on null as a identity, then create table. Right here we have a new table, right? And the customer ID, okay, column ID, it's not null, okay, and have a default value, which is the, he created a new sequence, right? And for sure, he didn't create any trigger, okay. So from here, we learned how to create a new table, and also we can add column, we can modify column, we can rename column. You can drop column as well, right? You can rename the table name, right? By here, if you select rename to be customer only, not customers, like this. Remember this name, finish. There's the name, change it. I can rename a column, right? Which column you need to rename. We can okay, change this to be e_ mail or whatever you want, right? You can add and modify a data type of column instead. Yeah, you can choose number instead of character, or you can add a more column and choose date, right? A date, registration date, which is will be date. So this features, it's give you more features of how you can deal with your database objects. Okay. We have something here called copy. It will copy the whole table, right? With all columns. If you need all rows, all data or selected data, that you can copy this to another table. It's called customer one. So it will copy the whole structure and data for this table to the new table. And see finish, we have another table here. We can drop this table, right? We can truncate this. Okay, truncate mean it will truncate the data from your table, and also you can create.
What is the use of truncate?
Truncate, okay. Let me do something. Okay, I need to share some examples. I need to upload data. This is also it's powerful feature. You can upload data from a Excel sheet or text, right, or CSV, right, file. And here it asks you load data to a new table or existing table. If it was for a new table, I have a table called requests, right? I need to insert data in that table. It's called request. Identity column or sys GUI ID. I will leave the default as this. I have some data here and my sheet file, right? Then I will load data and it will start to create new table and import the whole data right here. It's running. Imported 7 rows, right? Table requested created with 7 rows. Okay. And I can create application on this table and we will talk about this later. Okay. Just now we will view the data. Okay, so I have a table called requests and has some data. Let me just copy this because I need to keep the data for another purpose, right? So I will copy this to the request. Full data, okay. Yeah, right now I can show you how to truncate and what's the difference between truncate and right and drop. Okay. Truncated means it will remove the whole data from right your table. So if I press truncate, back to tab, truncate, right? I think okay, we have command called truncate table name, finish. Right. If I back to data, I will see okay, this table contains data. So this is a truncate. Okay, one more option. Okay, we can drop the table. Okay, if you drop this table, it will not. Okay, it will just remove to something called recycle bin, right? Because as you know, this is also a powerful feature provided by Oracle database. Okay, once you delete or drop any object, it will remove to something called recycle bin. I think till for a period of time. If you don't need it anymore, you can purge the recycle bin. If you need to restore this table, okay, you can restore it. Okay, if I go to right, let's go to something called right a recycle bin here. Okay, I will see dropped objects. So we will see request. Right, if you need to restore this table, we can click on this table. Yeah, restore object, or we can purge object. Okay, purge object, it means it will remove from recycle bin. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, back to right object, we will see the table. It's come back but with no data, right?
Right. Okay.
Okay, so this is for a first tab, which is called table, right? You can create also something called create lookup table, and you can create application on this tables. So let's do this on table has some data. Okay, lookup table, it means like you have some repeated data, like I have something called classification, which has classified, and not classified. And I need to create a lookup table, which should be just the ID here in my table, and the table, it will just have two rows, one for classified and one for not classified. So let's try this to create a lookup table. Okay, create lookup table. Right here, all column, no, just varchar column. Which column you need to, I will choose classification. Next, okay, the new table, I will rename it to just the classification table, right? It will create a new sequence, right? Then next, okay, if you see here, it will create a table and do some inserts, okay, to that table, right? Then create lookup table. We'll see a new table here and filled by 2 rows, right? Also, we will see the requests. Okay, it will do some alter on the request table. Okay, first of all, he created a new table called classification, which have a classification ID and the classification. Just two rows, like I said, classification and not classification. It's the same like you create a LOV, right?
Right.
Some
Understood.
data, yeah, has a unique data. Like he did a we have function on Oracle FX, it's called a distinct, right? Distinct data. And here it just edit the classification column to be classification ID. I think he added at the end right here. He just dropped the classification. Okay, and he just add the new column, it's called classification ID. So he linked this table with that table, okay? So we have ID instead of classified. We have two, also the ID instead of not classified. And you have relation here. I think he created also a foreign key, right? For the second table.
Okay.
It's too slow. Just I need to show you the foreign key here. Yeah, we have a foreign key for classification ID. This is new. It just created, okay, at 3:49. Yeah, 2 minutes ago. We can create application on this. I can show you, okay, maybe on the second, I mean, the next session. Okay, so we will talk about this, okay, in next session.
Okay.
Let's move to a second tab, a data tab. Here, you can see here we have a four options here. We just tried one. Okay, if we need to load data, it will direct us to the same data we already imported. But here he knows, right? Here he knows which table you will need to import. So he already imported the table name, right? Also, we can import the same data if you don't have any requirements or any validation on data. We can load and replicate the same data. Right, we have imported another 7 rows. Okay, so here. But remember, yeah, here it didn't. He didn't imported the classification name, and also he didn't link this 7 rows. This is just for demo, okay, how to load data into a existing table or a new table, right? Also here you can query, okay, you can query on whatever, any columns you need. You can select all columns, you can just select some columns you need, right, to display. For sure you need to query, just type the command here or the value for query. So if you need to display a all, let's say, right here, all classification, so we'll just put one. If you need to display all not classification, you can do 2 because the not classification equal to. Also you can order by ID, descending or ascending, then do the query. So we'll have 2 rows. It's not classified. We can do new query, right, by add more columns to be displayed. And here we can change this to be 1. I think we will have 5 rows, right? Cancel. You can download the data from here for a text file or Excel file. We'll see something here. Okay, it's called a CSV file. You have a feature count, okay, number of rows. You can press, okay, we have 14 rows. You can insert and delete some other data. You can insert also a new row, okay, by selecting the values you already know. Right, you can create one, you can create another. Right, you can cancel from here. You can edit any rows and delete it. Okay, if you need to delete this, you can cancel and back. So this is for data tab. We have tab called indices, okay, which is display indices on your table, and you can create new index or drop an existing one. Model tab. And model tab, it just display some statistics or some other right, the relation between this table and the other table. So we have relation between requests and classification regarding to the constraint. This request has a foreign key, right, with that table. So this is like a graph, okay, to show you the relation between this table and other tables. This tab also just display the constraint, the type of constraint, name, and search condition, related constraints, the column, delete rule, okay. Because delete rule, okay, we have 3 rules for delete rules. It's if you delete from this table, what would you do? Actually, if you delete here, okay, what would you do in this table? Just delete the child, okay, or no action, or I think the last one, it's right, you can set it null, okay, you can just set the foreign key as null or primary key, right, and some other information. Grants here, okay, that means you can grant other table or other schemas a delete, select, or whatever the rule you need to grant for other schema. You can grant, okay, I have another, I think I have another schema called MACD, so I can grant all for MACD schema on this table with a grant option, yes or no, or specify some privileges like alter, select, update only, read only on this. Right, so I give this scheme just read only on that table, okay, if I have the authority to do this. I think he will show us. Okay, so we have a grantee, which is the schema name, has a privilege read, right, grantable, okay, on that object in this schema. You can revoke this grant by revoke this. Revoke it means you pull the grantee pull out. Okay, so from MACD, I will revoke all, right? Finish. I will not see any of this anymore. Okay, the statistics here, you have some statistics around the object. How many rows, how many blocks, average rows, and sample size, and so on. Also, you have a column statistics, okay, data type, data length, data precision, scale, distinct, and some other right data like last analyzed or UI default. You can create some UI default. It means, okay, if you will use this table in a few places on your application or many places, okay, so you can define some columns on this table like to be this column, I need to be a list value for each time I need to create a page, okay? Or the date to be in a specific format, right? Or number to be in a specific number or in a specific range. I think we can try this. Okay, create defaults. Right, so this has a default. This only table has a default. So let's try this. I will show you how you can do. Okay, if I need to create a table later on my application, I need register date, okay, to be in format, specific format. So I need this to be a, sorry, I need it to be a display as a, right, date picker, okay, and the width should be 100 pixel, required or not required, I need to be required. Default value should be says date, but I can do it here. Yeah, format date, I need to be a formatted like, right, remember like this. Okay, we will have a date, time, and so on. Alignment, it will be a left or right, center, center, okay, and remember all these features. List of value, no, I don't need list of value on this. Yeah, we can also make this as a list of value. So I need this to be as a classification, not classification ID. I will I'd create it as a list of values, so we can select right here. You can create a static list of value, or you can create a query builder. So I need to create a query builder on this. I know this is too more information, but it's useful. I just need to do this. Okay, so I need a this just one. Yeah, this is okay because we selected. Remember, okay, we once we start to create any page on that table, which is called request, we will find two columns classification as a list and the register date as a date with a specific format. Right, back to our object browser, right? What we have here also UI triggers. Okay, you can create triggers on your object, like you create a trigger after update to update and your table, or you update in another table, so you can create a new trigger. You can drop the trigger as well, enable, disable the triggers you have on that table. Dependencies, it's like a model. Okay, just display the relation for this table with other tables, right? And
Right.
we have a, just wait. Yeah, this is like this. It's the same as module. Okay, it just you have another a table dependencies on this. It's called classification, right? And some other information. We have another tab called SQL. SQL, which is have the script for that object, right? And if that object has a constraint, which is foreign key, we have a foreign key here, and we have a identity column also. The ID with a different syntax here. REST, right? If this table, you can enable this table as a RESTful service, because we used ORDS version 22.2, which is provide to a make your schema or a specific table as a for REST APIs. So you can just publish this table to be used by REST APIs. Right,
Okay.
and this other rules and other features we can talk about it later because it's too advanced. And you have something called simple query. You can just copy this and do some simple query on your object. Okay, so you can take this right back to a SQL command, start to paste this. Okay, and start to run. Yeah, by the way, once we get here, okay, there's a SQL command. So from here you have this space. You can type whatever the language you need, a SQL, right? SQL a scripts like this, or you can type PL SQL. Okay, you can start type. Okay, begin update m. Okay, set right salary equal salary multiply and commission, right? Also you can, I think this is enough. First of all, let's select asterisk from M, right? You see this, so we can just you need to highlight something, okay, and start to run, right? So right now we have this has a commission, so we will multiply this and this after we do that, so we can do this run, right? Line 2, column salary, I think so. It's called sal, not salary. I think this, yeah, this it's called sal because I think we can do commats here. This is a BL SQL code, right? You can run it here. The value larger than because we can, so we can just do this, okay. Right, if we start to select this, we will see, okay, right, this it was a 9,000. We just multiplied in okay, of 100. So it just divided this to 9. I would say this, okay, in 10 again. And this is an option, okay, it's just show you how you can type a BL SQL inside this SQL command. Right here, you can type just SQL only. You decide how many rows you will display on this. Okay, if you have more than 10, like we have here, right? So once you run, it will display till a 500, right? We have rows. You can clear command. You can find tables and search inside this table. Right, you can search here. This is the table we have on our schema. Make sure also if you have more than one schema, you select your right schema here. You can search here for any SQL, right? You can save this script, okay, save it and to use it later. So I'll call this cell update, right? Save. Right, so I have here under a tab called Save SQL, I can just do it or delete it, or I can just use it by clicking on this and start run. Also, we have history here. Okay, this is the history of your SQL command. You can select any one of this. This is run, I think this is run 7 days ago. I can use it right here. We have something called explain, just to explain the right, the SQL, right? The SQL itself, SQL query itself, it can explain, okay, to say who owner, table name, which column, right? The query plan, if you know, it's something related to the performance, okay? The audit of your SQL. This is the result table. I think this is for a SQL command, right? We have also something called SQL script. A SQL script, it's a provide us some features. If you have a prepared script, okay, you already prepared a script and you need to run it on your schema, right? You can upload these scripts from here. I have another script. Okay, let's build some scripts right here. So I can create a table called a company, right? Which is have ID, number, primary key, name, worker 2, 100, email, it's the same, right? And address, the same, phone 1, the same, phone 2, and this is right enough. I can create another table, create table called users. Okay, ID, number, primary key, username. Okay, password, expire, date, the status, number, default, 0, and this is enough. Let's save this as a script right here. Okay, I will call it scripts.sql. So back to our application, we can just select, okay, back to this. Okay, once we select SQL script, we will have this, right? So you can upload, you can start quick, okay, quick create like this, like ID, create table, and so on. Then right, you can clear, you can save it as a model here, okay. So it's the same as we created on a right, I mean as we created on Node++. So we assumed we created from somewhere. So if we need to run this, we can go back to and select the script, name it as a script 1, right, or app 1 or whatever, upload. Once you upload, you can just start to edit if you need. Right, if you need to add more column for user, at least a group ID number, and so on. So I already save, right? Then I need to run, then select here. Okay, start to run, right, and run now. So it will tell you, okay, you have 2 statements processed, you have 2 successful, and with a 0 error. If you have a 3 process and 2 successful, and it will tell you you have a 1 with error, and you come back to write the script and start to edit to see which part has error, okay, and start to edit and start to run it again. Okay, so also you have right a button here. You can download, I mean delete the checked, right? This one we can delete it, right? You can create a new one from here. Okay, instead if you're using Node++, you can create, you can download and cancel and so on. This is for a remember we run some scripts, so we have to check here. We have a new table called users, right? And we have a new table called company, right? It's already created. We have some other utilities here, right? Data load, which is we used. You can load, you can download, you can load data, okay, from Excel. You can unload data if I need to unload data to text or XML format. Okay, it will ask you for which table you need. I think we only have data in this. I can just select a column by press Control. This. I need to just export a specific column, right? With where condition or not, right? You can unload data, sorry. So it will unload data to XML file, and also you can unload data to Excel file or CSV file, like here. Are you following with me?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Is there anything it's difficult or anything unclear?
No, it's okay. I understand.
Okay. We have something called data generator. Okay. You can, sorry. You can create table blueprint using as existing table. Let's select from this table. I think I didn't use this before, but let's try. This is something like generate a DDL script.
Okay.
Invalid built-in data source location .county name. Okay, forget about this. I think this is out of our scope. Yeah, we can talk about query builder, right? So query builder here, like we create list of values before. So I mentioned to this, if you need to combine a query between two tables, right? And you don't need to, I mean, create the script manually. So from here, you just can click right here, and I need this name. Also, I can create a relation between tables by doing this. Okay, I will press on this part, and I will refer to the relation here. This is classification ID. Should be related with this, or has a relation with this. So he will create something like a link URL and start to run this. If you need to see the SQL query, you can copy this, okay, into a another tab. So you have a query joined between two tables here, which is request and classification. You can run. So you have to run. Okay, don't forget this. Okay, unless you just click out of the query, or don't do this, because if you just double click on this and try to run, it will say invalid SQL because he tried to validate the highlighted part here. Okay, so you have to make sure you highlighted the whole query, or you just click out of the query itself, right? And also, if you have another select statement here, select asterisk from M, you can do this run. You can't run because it will display you this error. Just you have to highlight this. Okay, that means you need to run this query first, or you can highlight this and start to run. This is how SQL command work. Okay. Back to this query builder. Query builder just display the whole tables and views in same left side column, right? You can search for any table. If you have more than 1,000 or 100 tables, you can search for company. It will filter, right? Just click on this. It will start to display here, and you can just select and so on here, and it will add the column you selected here. It will add to the SQL query. The condition here, you can add condition. You can add alias, right? You can make this as a order by ascending or descending, right here. You can make some function like count, average, sum, and so on. You can create alias, like if you need to change this call reg number to a something friendly registration, right? So back to SQL query, you will see just need to this a RAM has something invalid relation operator. I mean, he after you change the alias, he will change this to be registration. And no, sorry, this is not. This is a condition. This is the alias I was talking about. So you can change this to reg. Okay. See here, you will see reg between two double quotes. For sure, you can save this to a script, right? Script 2, or you can just run it or copy. Right, you will have a save here. You can run it or you can copy. I think once you get back to a SQL and then back to a query builder, saved SQL, okay, you will see the script, the same script. You can run it, you can edit, you can start to adjust this or customize this to whatever you want. Okay.
Okay.
One more thing. Yeah, we can have here a quick SQL. Okay, we already explained this from here. You can do a create I think create function, right? Create or replace function, get depth name. It will take depth number and return character as whatever v name character begin, right? Select d name into v name from depth, where depth number equal let's say it's called b depth. I will change this to b depth parameter depth. Exception when others then v name to be no depth. Return v underscore name and this should be here as well. Okay, this a function we can create. This generate SQL save SQL script to a function right. Don't know, save model save mod function. I just need to see what's the difference between right load. Yeah, this is load. This is something. Yeah, we will talk about it later. So back to here, a quick SQL. I need to just back here. It should a saved here. So upload. No. There is no load. Yeah, my model. Yeah, I think it's saved here, my model, because yeah. So I can retrieve this, right? Save it or load model. Yeah, here we can run it, clear, or start to save script, download. Yeah, we can download it and start to import it from SQL here and start to run. It seems you can't run here. You just create here and save the files. Then back download it or a review and run. I think this is. I don't know why.
No, this is not created. I think when you click on the generate SQL, then it will change.
I already did, yeah. And saved setting. Oh, this is confusing.
Script is not created. No.
Yeah, no, it just created. Okay, if I back created and saved. Okay, so if you back here to load, you will see a tab. I saved it, save module function, right? And it's saved as a load module. Okay, this is something different. Okay, let's talk about this simple data set. If you need to install some simple data set to test on this, you can install countries, you can install whatever HR data. Right, let's try this. Okay, next we will see some tables and views right here. So back to this, we'll see right here we have a created table with some data, so you can build an application and do some tests on this. So this is for, you can create application on this table as well, right? So this is for a data set, generate DDL. Right, you can, if you need to just export the structure of your object, like table, function, and etc. Right, packages if you have, then to whatever you want, and from here you can select all table or just select some tables like this. Right, you can filter, search for any table or any object. Right, generate DDL. This will generate a script, right? Let's say you start to develop or design a script on your laptop, right? And you need to move this to a customer environment. So you will need to do this by this features, right? You need to start to generate your script from the beginning. So this is something useful. I think we choose to display on the screen. You have a display inline. You have something called save as a script file. Like once you do this, you need to provide the name of the file. Right, so you can say my script for customer, right? Then script. Right, it's already saved here. You can also run it once again on your environment, or you can just click here and start to download, right, as a text file or script file. Also, we have here a user interface default, which is we did on table request, right? Schema comparison here. You can compare between two schemas. Unfortunately, I have just one schema. So this more useful if you need to compare between two tables. What did you do? What updates you do on one of the two schemas? Okay, so you need to know the difference between two schemas. You can select schema 1 from here and schema 2 and start to press on compare, and it will display the changes as a script, a SQL script. Okay, you can also compare a
Okay.
function, a type of objects, right? And also you can display whatever number of rows you need. Right here, method on table recycle bin. We talked about recycle bin. Once you delete any objects and you need to restore it from recycle bin, or you can go to recycle bin and purge the object. Method on table. I think this it just creates some packages on some table. Like if you need to create methods. Method, it means if you need to create insertion statement, update statement, and some other methods, delete, right? So you can create a package which is hold this methods, right? But I think this is provided by Oracle Apex form, right? You can create a form. This form to allow you to edit, update, insert new records instead of you. Maybe your business on some business need to create a packages for method on table. So this is a feature also provided by Oracle Apex. Okay. Object reports, right?
What is the use of method of tables?
Sorry?
Use of method of tables. No, one option are there.
No, I didn't get you. What exactly you're asking for?
Method of table. When you click on the SQL Workshop, please click on SQL Workshop. Utilities. Methods on table.
Method. Yeah.
Yes.
That's I was talking about. Okay. And I think methods of table.
Okay.
Yeah, you need to create some insert statement for a specific.
Okay, understand.
Yeah, updates, etc. So maybe some business needs this, but this provided by the form or interactive grid. Okay, because if you create interactive grid, you can have the ability to add, delete, or update some records. Okay. Object reports, it's something like statistics to display right here. Sorry, I mean here some statistics, table reports, table columns, table comments, table constraint, statistics, etc. PL SQL reports.
Okay, understood.
Yeah, something like statistics. Table without trigger. If you need to know how many table without trigger. Right, so this all without triggers, right, data dictionary, and so on. I just need to show you the default, okay, user interface default. So if I think we did this on request. So if I start to create a right, a form, right. Right here, I think, yeah, I need to create a report with form. It will be right. So include a form, yes. Request this report.
Yeah.
You can see. Okay, do you have any?
Yes, now connect.
Okay. I just need
Yes.
to show you, this is the last example because our session is close to end. Okay, I just need to show you the user interface default. So we will see the, let's right?
Yes, yes, right.
Add request, table requests, right request. Remember, we just selected a specific format for a reg date. Okay, so request is here. Next. Yes. Okay, let's try and see what happened. Okay, okay, create. This is orange. Should be. You see, classification is turned to a list value. Right here, I didn't do anything on this form. It just created as a list value as we did an user interface, right? But this
Right.
one, it's just as a simple date. I think we can check this to see the attributes of reg date. So reg date here should have something wrong. It's a date picker, but it doesn't have any formats. Should have here the format we already did. It just applied this on, yeah, just turn this to be a select list, right? With a classification dot select list value. If you go to here, you will see a classification. Okay, so this is for a SQL Workshop and some other features, right? We will continue next session. Do you have any questions in the last part? Hello?